Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're going to go ahead and do a plan with me in my Hobonichi MAAYA SAKAMOTO collaboration weeks. And I'm just flipping through the different pages of my favorite Hobonichi Weeks. This is my main planner, and let's go ahead and prep for the next week. So today we will take it slow. I'm not going to fast forward most of the clips, just a little bit. So I'm taking this large rose gold bulk clip from 𝐏𝐥𝐬𝐬 to lay my page down. It has a habit of not laying as flat as I want it to be, and since I do a lot of lining, I like it to be as flat as it could be. That's my ruler from Daiso and the 𝒕𝒊𝒅𝒆𝒐 Triplus fine liner that I have used before. Today's theme is going to be brown, so I went ahead and got a highlighter in beige. The tip of this highlighter is chiseled, which is something that I don't have in my collection, and I'm very glad to have it. Next, let's go ahead and show you my pens. This is the Pilot Juice Up 04, and this is going to be my main writing pen. And later I'll give you a review on how I like this pen. But the main pen that we will be using to line our pages would be the Zebra SARASA 0.5. This is a very popular pen for Tomoe River paper users, and I'm sure you have seen this before or even own one. If you do own one, please let me know what you think of this pen, as well as the Pilot Juice Up 04 in the comments down below. This is the first time that I'll be using a completely brown spread, or brown, beige, or similar, with no black ink. I'm going to go ahead and get started with aligning the pages using the 𝒕𝒊𝒅𝒆𝒐 Triplus fine liner. And I'm just going to divide the left page into two columns. Next, I'm going to mirror this into the right page by deepening the line that's already on the planner. At this point, they should look very similar. And now I'm going to go ahead and count 10 grids and then align the next column. But this is a much shorter line that ends just before the weekend. I'm going to close this area by drawing a horizontal line. And that is how our page looks like after lining. Now I have taken the Zebra SARASA and we're going to draw horizontal lines. I'm just following the lines already on the page. I'm just deepening it, but I am extending that line to the first column of the right page. After that, I'm going to give my ruler a quick wipe so that there's no ink on there that will transfer onto the paper. I'm using the same pen to draw a line down the middle of each daily section. It's not very clear here on camera. I'm just noticing now that there is a slight difference between the 𝒕𝒊𝒅𝒆𝒐 as well as the Zebra SARASA, although they are of a very similar shade of brown. When I was younger, I really didn't like brown. I thought it was a little boring, not as exciting as, say, pink or yellow or red or blue or purple even. But now I am really enjoying brown, the color brown in my things, on my pages. A lot of my pages are very brown or neutral. Now I'm going to take my highlighter and then line the top of the daily section one grid down. I'm doing it on the right page and then doing it on the left. The reason I did that so that I could just follow what I have done on the right onto the left. This highlighter is really nice. It's drying very similar to how a Tombow would dry. So I'm very impressed. Now let's go ahead and write our headers. Here I drew a heart symbol, and then I numbered each section 1 and 2. I'll explain the headers later, so let's go ahead and finish writing them all down. And then I'm making the tracker at the bottom. So here I'm just extending one of the highlighted lines, and then writing the header down, I'm writing tracker. Now going back to the daily sections, I'm going to draw a little dot in the middle and then draw a line over that or across that. And I'm only keeping it to that column and not extending it to the right page. As you can see, that is my schedule section. And for that, I'm going to be writing my key or legend at the bottom of the page. I've kept it simple this week compared to last week, which has a ton of symbols. It was really hard to follow in the end. So here on that middle column in the right page, I wrote this week, and then I'm going to use the highlight to color in one grid. So I'm making 7 of that, 7 little boxes. Using the Zebra SARASA, I just wrote the initials of the day and then notes at the bottom. And then for the next column, or rather, before I move on to the next column, I'm going to go ahead and line up the different sections so that I know which is which. I didn't want to do that in the beginning, but then I realized that I needed to line it. So here I'm going to write using the Pilot Juice Up 04, and it's a much browner ink, a much warmer ink, a much warmer brown. And the last section is the tracker section, and before or in the last 2 weeks I used a vertical tracker. Today I'm going to use a horizontal tracker. So I'm writing down the different habits that I am going to be tracking, and then at the very bottom I have a next week section. So let's talk about the different sections here. I've already spoken about the tracker, so let's start with the first column. It's going to be for daily wins. The next is my schedule, and I use the line to mark events divided between morning and afternoon. The third are home tasks, or home to-dos. The fourth column is a work overview. And the last column is my favorite list. Favorite music, favorite book of the week, etc. And then of course at the bottom we have our trackers and next week section. So the Pilot Juice Up 04 seems to be my favorite between the two, this one and the Zebra, because it performs very similar to my Pilot G-Tech-C, which is my OG favorite pen. For the Sarasa, it's really watery, which I'm surprised about, but that makes it really good for lining. It doesn't skip when you use it to line. And for the very last thing, let's have a little close-up of our spread for today. I hope you like this video and the way that I've formatted it. It's edited very differently, and if you'd like to see more of my planners, especially finished pages, make sure to check my Instagram account. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.